Welcome back to MeMaOnCloudFetti.
That's right, guys. We appreciate all the support, the shares, the likes, the comments, the suggestions. Keep it coming. Again,
Yes.
we want to know how y'all feeling out there. Hope y'all had a good week. We've been very busy, so we apologize for the delay, but we're here, okay? And we're back with another fantastic topic.
Yes.
Tonight's topic is 5 things that lets you know that the person is the one.
Correct.
Obviously, I'm gonna be giving my male perspective. She's gonna be giving her female perspective.
I am.
And these were serious things that made us know that we were made for each other. Bottom line, and it was on a regular basis, so it was like undeniable. Okay, so let's kick things off. What is your first thing that really lets you know that
A guy's the one.
mhm.
Okay, well, since he's my husband, I'll talk about how I felt when I met him. The first thing I noticed about him was his consistency. Like, we met on blackpeoplemeet.com. Tag them. Anyway, we met on blackpeoplemeet.com.
Plug.
And from the minute he got my number and we were conversing for like a month, he was always consistent. Like every morning he would text me, "Good morning, I hope you have a great day." He does that to this day, and we live together. We live in the same house. We wake up together, go to sleep, and he'll get to work in like 2 hours, I guess, after he eats breakfast. Is like, "Oh, my wife," and he'll be like, "Babe, I love you. Have a great day." Consistency. He was consistent from that day 5 years ago, and he's still consistent. So consistency is key. A lot of people fail to be consistent, like they struggle with it.
Yeah.
If a dude is struggling to be consistent, he not the one. That's my number one, consistency. Because without the consistency, you ain't got nothing, The person is coming and going. So that's my number one that I knew about him, because he was consistent from day one.
Yeah. For me, it's keeping it going. I wanted to do that to show her that I was still interested. And we can keep hanging out, and it's a good thing going. Let's keep this thing going. So that was my intentions from day one. My key thing that I feel is important. Hold on, guys. Chemistry. I'm a big fan of chemistry. Chemistry is going to be the difference of us having a serious relationship, an ongoing relationship, or not. And it's not something that you can prepare for. It just happens.
It's true.
It flows. The conversation is amazing. Okay? It just like, you don't remember how it started. You just sit down and you're like, wow. So with her, it was definitely there. And what was great too is where I met her at, it was a bar, of course, so it was very dim in the evening. Because it was dim, we had to have a conversation going on. It's not like it was bright lights and face to face, and it was a lot of visuals, and us guys were into visuals, so sometimes things go in different directions because of that. But we were really forced to get to know each other. So definitely that worked out in my favor, both of our favors.
Yes.
What is your
You think the
second
chemistry was because the lights was dim, dude, or just because? Because I think if we was Stevie Wonder, we would have had the chemistry anyhow.
one? Yes, that is true. But I'm just saying, it's funny how it
that
happened.
place was dark. That place
right,
was dark.
where it's like God was behind the scenes orchestrating everything to make things go a certain way. So definitely, it's one of a kind, priceless. What's your second one?
Okay, so my second sign that I know he was the one is that I felt like I could be myself. Now, in the beginning, when I met him, he a little cutie. And, he's like very good looking guy on top of his looks and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna lie, like I used to be like, I gotta make sure my hair is done, my outfit looks good. Like I wanted to keep up with him. But the more that I got to know him and like he said, that chemistry, like I was like, yo, like me and him would just laugh and crack jokes. Like, I could be Melissa. I didn't have to put on or act like somebody I wasn't, or I didn't have to try to impress him. Like, I was just able to be me. Like, and that's up to now. Like, he accepts me for exactly who I am. Like, if I get loud sometimes, if I'm with my stupid Snapchat filter and stuff like he allows me to be exactly who I am. Like, he doesn't clown me for being like silly sometimes or to being too serious. Like, he allows me to be me. So anybody that you're trying to be with long term and you're trying to guess if they're the one, you should be able to be yourself. So that was another thing that made me know he was the one.
Absolutely. And of course it goes both ways. And even up until when I moved in with you, I'm like, certain things she don't know about, she gonna find out, vice versa. And I was wondering, like, I hope it's not deal breakers.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely able, she can vouch, I'm definitely able to be myself around her.
Yeah.
And that's another gem that you thank God for, because not everybody is gonna love you for who you are. So, my second thing is, let me go back here. I think one of the most important things for me, and I don't see it in a lot of relationships, and to me it should be there, just my opinion. If she makes you greater. Now, this is very important because, again, we see the dynasties, we see the empires, we see the couples like Jay-Z and Beyonce, Will Smith and Jada. You know, these are like models for like power couples, you know?
True.
And one thing you could say, and I'm sure the guys can say, is that they bring the best out of them. They made them better men. You know, they didn't actually have everything figured out. Like I had mentioned in a prior video, I didn't have everything figured out. I thought I did. I met her, and things became clear and came out better than if I would have just did it myself. So, for example, guys, we procrastinate, right? We drag our feet with certain things. Say there's something that you've been meaning to do for a while, and you just never got around to do it. You made up excuses for it. And say you discuss that with the woman that you're seeing, the one, right? You don't know that she's the one at the time. And she helps you to get that certain thing you've been dragging your feet with accomplished. And then you're like, I didn't think I could get it done, and you helped me to get it done. You're amazing. Like, and then you can reflect, and then sometimes say you're not thinking about it and say whatever it is that she got done for you and or helped you to get done. And with this new accomplishment, it's helping you through everyday life or certain important things. Then it reminds you, like, wait, wifey helped me to get this. I gotta be grateful that she's in my life, because without her, I probably still wouldn't have got it done. So, key, if you're with someone, particularly guys, I think it's really important.
Yeah.
And she's not making you better, and that could be the only thing missing, you kind of got to question it, maybe timing, things of that nature. But again, this is just my opinion, but I'm very passionate about it.
Can I tap one to that?
Sure.
I just feel like he's right, like, because if you're trying to be a dynasty, like he said, like a Jay-Z and Beyonce, like, him being better is gonna result in me being better. So if the person is the one, their well-being is your well-being. Right. So if they're not concerned if you accomplished what you said you wanted to do, or you got this done and that done, they're not thinking long term, or they're not thinking about you in that way, or they don't have a plan for themselves. So that's why they're not following up with you, because you might call them on they shit. So anybody who's in this for the long haul and there's a real interest there, they're gonna keep you on your feet, because it's like, we in this together, we building together. So he's
right. And how ladies say it all the time, I can do bad by myself.
It's true.
Same thing. We both lying in filth. We gotta question
lying
things.
in filth.
we gotta question things like
oh my God.
I don't know.
He come up with this stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Now let's get
That's a good
to
one. The third one. Yeah.
Sorry guys, I gotta have these windows open.
My third one was that he'll be protective. Right. Now, protective in the sense like he's always concerned with your well-being. Right. You know, like some guys, you have a conversation with them and it's like for instance, in the beginning, like he'll be like, okay, so what's going on tomorrow? What's going on this week? And I'll be like, nothing, you know, I gotta go shopping, buy some clothes, and I also gotta go to the doctor, and then I gotta read up on some stuff. Like, if that dude, the next time he speaks to you, doesn't say, well, how did your doctor's appointment go? You know, did you get, you know, like, that flew over his head, he not interested in you. Any man that is interested in your well-being and, like, he keeps a track of all the things that you said, he has a big interest in you. Yeah. And it's like he's protective of you. Like, he wants to know, like, well, you went to the doctor. Are you okay? Was it just a checkup? Is something wrong? Is there anything you need? And he was like that. Like, so did you go to the doctor? Well, what happened? How did it go when you went? What did they say you have to do? And if they said something like, oh, the doctor said, Melissa, you need to take vitamin D or something like that, he would stay on top of me like, you ain't been taking your vitamins. Did you take these today? Like, you know, like he would keep me in check. And I just was like, I thought that was sweet because I only found that my parents did stuff like that prior to him, you know, like the dudes I was dealing with, I don't even know that they really paid attention to anything that was going on. Like, it just flew over their head if I said I was at the doctor or, you know, something like that. But he actually kept note, like, you know, even today, like, he'll tell me, like, okay, you had a cookie yesterday, that's it, no more sugar, you know? But that's, you know, that's good. I'm his wife. He wants to make sure that I'm right and I'm healthy and stuff like that. He'll let me live, but, you know, he'll keep me in track, too. Like, you said you want to accomplish this, so you need to cut this out. So I just feel like a man that's very protective of your well-being, protective if you're safe, checking in to see if you got home, if you okay. You know, we just left, separated a date. You went your way, I went mine. He's checking to see you got in safely. Listen, I've went to dates with dudes, you know, while I was living in Jersey. I had to go back on New Jersey Transit. And I ain't hear from them till 5 days later. Like, you don't even know if the dog died on the train. Like, But some dudes are like that. Like, how you just went on a date with somebody and it was all good, and then you don't hear from them for like a couple days. That's that consistency stuff. But protective. A man that's concerned with you and loves you, or he's just going to be protective of you. So that's
the antennas on, you know?
Yeah. He does. He pays attention.
Right.
What's your number 3?
Let's see here. Let's check in the private stash here. Y'all can debate me all y'all want.
Oh, God.
I do know it's 2018, 2019, but I'm old-fashioned, I guess. Cooks and cleans, okay? Not making an effort and falling real short. You're burning toast and eggs and stuff. Ain't for effort, but after a while, like, come on.
We in our 30s. If you ladies don't know how to cook in your 30s,
follow
it's a
instructions,
shame, man. It's a shame.
Read step by step, and I promise you, it should come out decent. Practice makes perfect, of course, so, you know, but it shouldn't be that hard. But
yeah, my husband is straight old school. Like, that was a deal breaker. I remember, like, the 6th or 7th, whatever date, like 4 months into dating, he was like, so, how about I come over Sunday instead of us going out? Because we was going out like crazy to restaurants every week. Mm-hmm. And he was like, how about I come over and you cook me a meal? I know what he was trying to do. But it was fair game, you know? Like, he took me out on several dates before and stuff like that. So I didn't feel like he was being fresh when he was like, can I come over and you cook for me? Like, I was like, I think he's trying to see if I know how to throw down. And he told me later on, like, it was a deal breaker. Because he grew up with a lot of women, like his aunts and great aunts and mom and stuff like that, that are good cooks. You know, his mom's from the South. His dad's from, you know, he's Italian or whatever. So he comes from good food. So that was like a staple for him. Like, I can't be with no woman that don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
Thank God for sis, I do. But I can't knock him, you know. I mean, I feel like women should know how to cook. And then if you're going to have a family and children, that's something that you need to know how to cook because your children got to eat.
And mind you, you know, not all the time. I kind of just want to know you can do it.
Exactly.
And then, you know, whenever it's like an extra added perk that just makes me feel at ease. Yeah. So I'm saying.
So ladies, cooking and cleaning is important. Some chicks be knowing how to order a good Uber Eats. That's cool, but you should know how to cook.
Exactly. You know, do it up. Let's move on to
number 4. What's my number 4?
Let's see.
My number 4 is okay. I remember when my number 4 is like no doubts in their behavior. I'm gonna elaborate. So back when I was single, I was like in the dating scene. I would sit there and kind of like replay in my head the date or question the guy's actions. Like, he gave me a kiss on my cheek when he left. I think he likes me. But then his actions are funny. He didn't call me yesterday. You know, like this back and forth. You're playing these head games. Like, you got all these doubts going on in your head. You know why? Because the guy is not giving you that security. He's not making you feel like he's the one. When you have the one, I don't even think about stuff like that with my husband. Like, without a doubt, I don't even wake up thinking if my husband loves me or he's interested or cares. And since I've met him, that's how I felt. Because he's never left any room for doubts in his feelings or of, you know, my perception of him. I always felt like this guy is in it. Because he never left me for like days without texting and calling and that inconsistent behavior. Yeah. So if you're sitting there with doubts in your mind, like, well, you know, he told me he loves me, but then he didn't invite me to hang out with him and his friends or his family, and I've been dating him for 2 years. You know, stuff like that is red flags. But if you still questioning those things and you've been dating a dude for a while, you have doubts in his behavior, he's not the one. Because a dude that is forthcoming and consistent and really has interest in you, you won't have not a doubt in your mind.
Very powerful. Yeah, definitely. I agree. I don't think anything more could be said on that. You just picked me up in so many ways. Thank you.
On your what?
That's right. My 4th one is proves that she's got your back several times. How many times has she got my back?
1 million.
And I'm so used to fending for myself for years.
You are.
You know, I'm just a survivor. I'm the only child, folks. I don't like asking for help. Big pet peeve. So with her being my wife and her looking out for me, and her knowing that there's certain things that I can forget to do, certain things I can overlook, and she will be the one that's paying attention, that will know what the outcome of something may be if I don't follow up or do, and she'll take care of it for me, call me up like, don't worry, I got you. I saw here you left this, but don't worry, I put it in your bag so you're good. You know, getting ready in the morning, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That goes a long way, and then that it kind of puts like a dent in the relationship where it lets you know this one is different from the rest of them. Because it's not like she going tit for tat or keeping count. She just purely got your back.
It's true. It comes natural. You know, it's not
it's
like
priceless.
And that'll eliminate, show a lot of, because a lot of people are selfish. Seriously, a lot of people think about their needs first, how it's going to affect them. They can't think about what another person will feel because they're always thinking about themselves. So, like he's saying, like, you know, for instance, if he forgot something, he needs me to fax a document, like he left the house already and I'm at work or something like that, and he'll be like, oh my God, I needed this document. I'll be like, don't worry. I'll scan it to you, send it to your email, you know, stuff like that. He'd be like, thank you, you're a lifesaver. But it's like, a selfish person is not thinking to do those things. They're just like, well, I guess you just going to have to get it tomorrow. You know, they're not thinking quick on their feet, so to speak. Like, I'm always thinking, how could I help him? How can I make this better? You know, so I try to look out for my husband because I'm just genuinely a nice person. But why not help him? You know, like if he's in need of help and I can help him, I don't have a problem with that. A lot of women have this chip on their shoulder like, oh, I'm not helping no dude, I'm not raising no man. It's not about raising, but you got to understand when you become husband and wife, you become one.
Team.
And
Yeah.
it's a team thing, you know? So it's like, if he, first of all, I know it's going off, but this guy, he got my finances in order because I was a hot mess. So you know what I'm saying? He could have been looking at it like, I ain't raising no chick that's in her 30s.
If I gotta do this for you,
yeah, like she like a child.
That.
You know?
I want somebody that got their stuff set already. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So it's like a lot of women judge men like, I ain't raising no boy, I ain't raising no grown man. But it's not about raising people. Sometimes people just need help. You know, sometimes you may know something that person needs, and you can share that knowledge to make that person better. And what are you losing by helping another person? You know, so when he's saying look out for him, I'm always going to look out for him. I'll look out for anybody, especially if I know I can offer that help that they need. Why not, you know? Especially
long term, because you ladies will discuss it with us if you're interested in us, you know, about, hey, you know, what about the future? What do you see? If you're not having our back constantly, there's no way that we can envision something long term with you. So me moving in, us getting married, it wasn't hard for me to envision it, because right there was another example of, you know what, these are the qualities that I'm kind of looking for. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next one.
It's number 5. So another thing for me is thoughtfulness, which plays right back into you know, how he is. But for example, I remember our third date. I think it was the third date. He showed up late because I think he had to stay at work for some reason or whatever. We met up in Park Slope, and I'm a big flower person. Like, I OD'd on flowers for the wedding, like $3,000 for flowers. Like, I love flowers. Anybody that knows me knows I like flowers. He didn't know that at the time. So when he came to the date, he came late, and when he showed up, he had these beautiful like yellow roses, like a dozen yellow roses. I'll never forget that. And it's like, it warmed my heart because I love flowers. I'm a sucker for flowers. But the thoughtful gesture that he took the time, like, damn, I like this girl. She was waiting for me. I'm late. Let me get her flowers. You know, like, it's something so simple as stuff like that, that it's like, man, you know, even if I didn't like flowers, I still would have appreciated it because it was thoughtful. You know, he thought that this would make me smile. So a man that does thoughtful things. Now, I'm being real, like, flowers don't cost much, or not even flowers. It could be something like getting me some tea because I like peppermint tea and stuff like that. Like, just the thoughtfulness that you're thinking of myself, you know, before yourself. Like, you're being selfless. You're doing something that you know would make me happy, you know. And a lot of people are gimme people, or you got to do for them, or you got to do expensive gestures, you know. It's like, I trust me, I've heard some conversations in hair salons and stuff where it's like, oh, he only bought you that, he didn't buy you this. Like, people wanting $1,000 bag, you know. Those things, you can get a man who does that, and he has like a hidden family and stuff. So you know, I just feel like you have to pay attention to the little things. Like, it's the little things that count. You know, my husband does grand gestures too, but what I'm saying is that the thoughtfulness, even if it's something like, another thing, like, I'm going off the topic because he's just thoughtful, you know. Every weekend he gets me a shandy. I know that's so whatever, because I don't drink beer, but I like sorrel shandy. So last night I got home late from beating faces since 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. And I saw the store was open, but I had so much bags for my makeup and stuff, and I was like, I want a shandy, but I don't feel like stopping. And I was like, my husband got me one. Opened the fridge, one shandy was there, and I was like, you see, something as simple as that. So a man that is into you will always think of you and do thoughtful things for you, because he's always thinking how he's gonna make you happy and how he's gonna make you smile. So if a guy's not doing thoughtful things and you painting it in red writing like, hey man, I like flowers, and the dude is like,
Hello.
oh, okay, that's cool, that's what's up, and you still ain't seen flowers in a couple years, he ain't the one.
Yeah, that's a good sign. Great point. For me, you know, I was trying to be on my smooth stuff, you know, like, man, let me see what I could do for her, you know, this week. Let me come on some smooth stuff. I think I had just got the fresh cut too, right? You know, and I was looking sharp. I was like, yo, let me show I'm the man, you know? So that was the tactic with that. And then it turned out to be that she loved flowers.
Yeah.
Some people today don't really
value it.
Yeah. So that showed me something too, that she had a little bit of an old soul because she appreciates flowers, you know. Remind me of things, you know, with my mom and stuff like that, or women, you know, that appreciate those things, older ladies and stuff like that. It kind of reminded me and took me back. So definitely I was like, okay, you like flowers? That's what's up. Taking notes then, like, okay, wifey material, put it on the list, let's put it in the vault, you know, review it later.
And now he gets me flowers like once a month. So it's just a staple that he kept up from that time.
And I like surprising her with it, like putting it in different places. Or...
He be hiding in the closets. I be home for
I
like
want
5 hours. Then he busts out with flowers. I'm like, where you had the flowers?
I want her to come out the room or come out the bathroom or whatever and be like, hey, you know, like, you know, I like that. Let's move on to the next one.
It's his number 5.
Okay.
That was my 5.
And the last one, which is kind of relative to her last point, thoughtfulness. But I call it remembering what's important to you. Mm-hmm. So many examples, okay? I would say... There's so many, but...
Birthday?
She don't like my examples, but... Yeah, birthday. Let's keep it generic. I've been wanting to go to a steakhouse for I don't know how long. I make steaks all the time, so it wasn't like I was missing anything, or I would have went on my own a long time ago. She made that come to life. Not only was everything that I imagined, but it was even better to experience the royalties. Like they knew I was coming. Like, he's coming. It's his birthday. You better be nice to him. Like it felt like the vibes was on point. She knows I like cigars. I love cigars. Okay. So she made sure we went to a cigar bar. When we were first dating, I mentioned it to her. I thought that was something that went in one ear and went out the other. And on Valentine's Day, she had brought me some cigars, and she had no idea what she was doing. But the cigars were good.
Yeah.
Java's plug, True Estates. And it was a cigar that I've had before and I liked. So I'm like, wow, okay. So she put thought, she asked some questions, you know. So that type of stuff too, out of the box, going above and beyond, doing what you don't have to do, vice versa. That's key. Remembering what's important. Because what's important to you may not be important for the other person. So to think and remember that shows like your
interest. Yep.
Yeah, key. Now let's see what your 5th one is.
I did my 5th one.
Oh, you did your 5th one. Okay. Yeah. That's why I'm married. She's a small one.
So guys, and yeah, piggying back to Valentine's Day, I always do something he likes because he's not gonna appreciate a teddy bear. Some chocolates. First of all, he don't like sweets. So, you know, ladies, just, you know, think outside the box. Sometimes your man needs a new wallet or something like that. Like, that could be the sweet gesture of love for Valentine's Day because he doesn't like chocolate. So that's a waste of money and your time because he's not going to value it. So instead of giving him chocolate, I gave him 2 cigars wrapped in like red tissue paper, and he was blown away. Like I gave him chocolates. I like chocolate, but you know,
I think one of them was chocolate flavored.
Yeah,
and mint flavored. So
you know, so you have to do things that's gonna spark something in that person, and that's what he did with the flowers. He didn't know it, but that's what I did with the cigars and the steakhouse. Like you just gotta the thoughtfulness. You keep that in mind. Like okay, my husband likes cigars and steaks, and my wife she likes flowers and makeup and stuff like that.
That's how you stand out. Period.
Yeah.
You know.
Keep paying attention.
That's right. So, folks, again, we want to thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Please, topics.
Comment below.
Feed us.
Yep.
Comment, like,
subscribe.
Share, subscribe.
Yes.
Thank you so much, folks. Y'all have a great week.
You too. Bye. Peace.